So you've got your heroes, you've been farming gear all night long, but you want to know the difference between all of the gear, what the main stats are and all of that. Well, this video is for you for the Godforge Caverns experience. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hello there everyone, Ragewood here, back with another Godforge video. Now, I am gearing up to beat Fafnir 90 this morning. Had a few things to do, but we're going to get it done, alright? And I thought that would be a perfect opportunity to film a sort of gearing process, talking a little bit about gear as I level up my Shishi, who is going to be key in this fight, especially for myself. So, let's take a look at some gear. So, we've got our gear screen, alright, we've got just some random stuff on him, and I thought I would start with just a small sort of infographic of all of the main stats that you can get on here. So I'm hoping you guys can all see this on screen. It looks okay to me, so I'm gonna go with yes, it's fine. I'll make it a little bit bigger here. So what we can see here, so helmets can give us resistance, accuracy, initiative, crit rate, and then all of your flat stats. I mean, obviously, as you can see, all of them are able to have all of the flat stats. Chest pieces can have resistance, HP percentage, defense percentage, attack, all the flats. Shoulder pads, pauldrons, crit damage, crit HP percentage, attack percentage, defense percentage, flat stats. Gauntlets, crit damage, crit rate, accuracy, attack percentage, flat stats. I mean, I don't really know why I'm telling you all of this, but legs can have speed, HP percentage, attack percentage, defense percentage, and then flat attack, flat HP, flat defense. And then boots can have speed, initiative, attack percent, defense percent, and then those flat stats again, flat attack, flat HP, flat defense. So I've sort of garnered this information just by farming like a boatload of gear overnight on this account, and had a bit of help from some friends who've been collecting some data for me, and this is what we've got essentially. So yeah, interesting build. You can get speed on two pieces of gear, which is interesting, especially because, you know, if you want to have someone with high initiative but you still want some speed, you can get your boots with initiative and still have speed on your legs. You can also get crit rate on your helmet, so you can go for like a crit rate helm with crit rate gloves and crit rate shoulders to sort of build out a damage build with like maybe like attack percent on the chest. That I thought was kind of cool as well. There's a few things to look at there, so I'm hoping that I've left this up on screen long enough for you guys to see. So let's take a look at the actual gear. Let's talk about gear in general. So when we look at the gear screen right here, there's a few things to note. You've obviously got your uncommons, your rares, your epics, etc. So your common gear has no substats, uncommon gear has 1, rare has 2, epic has 3, legendary has 4. Alright, now obviously you want legendary for more substats so you can have the better overall build, but something else to take note of is the Roman numeral in the top right. Now this tells us how good a piece of gear, the quality of that gear is. So 1 is a damaged piece of gear. This is the worst kind, and you don't want to invest too heavily into it ideally, because the main stat will not be as high as that on a 3-star piece, for example. 2 is crude, so the next step up. 3 is superior. 4 is flawless. And then 5 is called masterwork. 5 is the rarest kind. It's called masterwork. It is the best you can get. A bit like Gillette. So, yes, try and work on your 5-star pieces, obviously then 4s and 3s, etc. But do note, the higher the quality of the piece, the more gold it's going to take to increase that resource, just as an FYI, alright? Especially those higher levels, like if, for example, if I click this shoulder pad here, you know, it's going to take 740k to get this 3-star piece to level 16. Rares will be 1.1 million. Epics are even more, so just bear that in mind. The higher the rarity, the more gold it's going to cost. I'm going to give you an example just on why you shouldn't invest too much in 1-star piece. So I've got this Raven gauntlets here with attack percentage. I'm going to take these to level 4, okay? And it will give me a main stat 10% attack percentage, which is okay. It's all right. If I take this 2-star attack percentage to level 4, you can see it's going to give me 15. All right, so automatically it is just better. 15, 10, 15, 10. And then the same is true for 3-star, 4-star, and then 5-star. The better the quality, the better the main stat. So yeah, don't invest too heavily in your 1-star pieces. And the only other thing to note is we have something called Attunement. Now that is not in the game or the Alpha Caverns experience, but something to note moving forward, because I do want this to be sort of an evergreen video. As you'll notice that everything looks a little bit different. So this image looks different to this image, which looks different to this image, which looks different to this one. That is to do with the type of gear. So we've got cloth, plate, leather, nightweave, and chainmail. Now, you can attune those certain pieces of gears to certain classes. Plate is to defenders, chainmail is to brawlers, leather is to slayers, cloth is to invokers, and nightweave is to disruptors, I think, off the top of my head. So not necessarily something we want to worry about now, but as the game progresses and as we come to full launch, you're going to want your chainmail on your brawlers, not necessarily your invokers, if you can. But this is very much a min-maxing late game sort of thing. As always with these games, stick to your fundamentals, go for stats over sets. Then once you've got the sets, then look to match the equivalent attunement piece for it. And I think that sort of covers everything today. It's not a particularly long one, this one didn't need to be, but hopefully it's given you a bit of idea on, you know, what you should be trying to level, to how to tell the differences between them, all that kind of stuff. Just as a recap on where to farm everything, your 1s, 11s, 21s, 31s, this is where you farm your helmets, and if you're unsure, just click the infographic and it will tell you what you're farming. Your 2 is your chest pieces, 3 is your shoulder pads, your 4s are your gloves, 6s are your legs, 7s are your boots. And in this Caverns experience, there is a limited number of gear sets. So your 70s are going to drop your claw, which is crit rate, your invoker, which is resistance, and your disruptor, which gives you accuracy. But your 60s are going to drop your standard sets, which is your slayer, your brawler, your defender, which gives you attack, HP, and defense. And that's going to repeat throughout the Cavern. So your 50s, wrong example, it's going to drop your Falcon, Jaguar, and Eagle. 40 is then going to drop your Claw again. So it repeats sort of every 30. But if you're ever unsure, again, just come check it out. And then, yeah, my 80s are dropping. Yep, Falcon, Jaguar. It's going to cycle throughout. There's also some other rarer sets that I saw. I might not have unlocked yet. I've seen a few people get. I've definitely seen them. Maybe it was on someone's stream. They had some other gear sets which I don't have yet, which seemed pretty cool. So that's obviously perhaps one of the other guys that's climbed higher than me. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this useful. Take care, look after yourselves, work hard, but as always, play harder. Don't forget to check out the HH site for the leaderboards. And yeah, come catch me live on stream later on today, depending on where you're watching this. If you're watching it the day it goes out, I'm probably streaming for the next 10 days anyway. Yes. See you later.